Welcome back to the Gun Dungeon, guys. I've got a review here that I'm excited to bring to you guys, and this is the Fusion Firearms CCO 1911 and 45. For those of you that don't know, the CCO is the officer size frame and the commander size slide. They have several different variants. They have full size, officer size, a couple others. They have a 6-inch, I think. But you're probably like me and have never heard of Fusion Firearms before. I'd never heard of them before in my life, and just kind of stumbled across them and done a little bit of reading about them, done some research, and come to find out the owner of Fusion Firearms used to run Dan Wesson before they sold to CZ. And looking at this gun, there's a lot of Dan Wesson characteristics to it, so let me just say that. But now he owns Fusion Firearms, and they have a lot of 1911s. And guys, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, this thing is awesome. The fit and finish is great. The slide is like glass. I mean, I know you can't feel it or appreciate it through the camera, but man, it is great. And if you read on their website, they'll tell you that the frame, the barrel, the slide are all machined from bar stock, so it's not it's not CNC, or I mean it's CNC machined, it's not cast. I'm just from the reading. The safety, I mean, that's a good way to judge the fit and finish of a firearm. Is how positive is that safety? And that is great. It is crisp. And that's going to lead me to the next part, the trigger. Guys, this trigger, I've never picked up a production 1911 that had a better trigger. I mean, some custom, yeah, you're going to get better triggers, but for a production gun, I don't think you're going to. This is awesome. So we'll just go through some of the features here. First off, this is not a first shots video. I wanted to shoot it some before I gave it any praises, if it deserved it or not. And I've not had any issues other than these Wilson Combat mags that I bought for it had some issues of popping the last round out, and then it would go to slide lock and there'd be a round laying there because it popped the round out. But I let those set loaded overnight, and I've not had any problems since. I recorded a bunch of footage of me shooting it before, but my SD card took a crap on me, so I don't have any of that footage anymore. And that's a shame. But like I said, this thing is loaded with features, guys. First off, we have a target crowned barrel, so you can see that. That's not something you get on just normal factory guns. It is cut for Novak sights, straight from the factory. Most of the time, you've got to send your slide off and get it cut for Novaks if you want to swap the sides out. I don't like staked front sights on 1911s. They're a pain in the butt. Some people might like them. But if you change sights, most of the time you go to a Novak cut. Well, these already have it. Cocobolo grips, good check ring on the grips, feels good. The actual Cocobolo. The front strap is checkered. I don't know how many lines per inch it is, but it is checkered. And then your mainspring housing here, it's got the linear flutes on it. It's not actually checkered, but it's linear cuts on it. Great traction. I mean, you can see my pinky wants to hang off the bottom of the grip, but it's fine. The mag that comes with it only comes with one mag, unfortunately. It does have a little base pad, so if you put that in, you got a full grip with this officer size. So I mean, I'd probably carry that in my pocket, but I like the flush fit, like this Wilson Combat here, for carry. Fits right in there, 7 rounds, fits in there great. And like I said, guys, you've got so many features with this gun. One of them that, to me, when I carry a 1911, one of the big determining factors is this grip safety. If this grip safety has to be pushed all the way in and it's super sensitive on whether it'll work or not, I don't want to carry it. But this one, let me just go ahead and show you. I will pull the trigger. Let me go ahead and push the trigger here. And then I'll show you how much movement it takes. Right there, that's it. That's all it takes. Once you feel it kind of click, it'll go. But that's all that it takes for that grip safety. And you've got your speed bump, you've got your beaver tail here. I mean, all great features that you want on 1911s. Now, this is a non-railed model. You can get railed models through Fusion. And like I said, this thing I've now shot about 250 rounds through it. And like I said, the only problems I had was with the Wilson Combat mags when they were brand new out of the box. I've not had any issues with the factory mag that came with it. Don't know who makes it. Doesn't say on it. 7-round mag as well. And then this really, really cheapo that I got from Midway for like 17 bucks. I just wanted to try it. You can definitely tell it's not as good a quality as the one that came with it, and not near as good as the Wilson's, but I've not had any problems with this mag. So, like I said, this thing has a hard chromed barrel, and if you read on their website, they claim that gunsmiths hand fit the slide and the barrel to the frame and the barrel to the slide and all that, and I believe it, because there's absolutely no slide wiggle at all on this thing. It fits amazing. The barrel lockup is amazing. Like, the fitment is awesome. This is essentially a semi-custom 1911, in my opinion. Now, it's not got the price tag of a semi-custom 1911. I picked this gun up for about $859. And it has all the features, all the fitment. The finish looks great. The fitment, like I said, I keep saying the fitment because it's great. The sights, all that stuff. If you was to buy a gun that had all these features and this type of fitment, you're looking at $1,500–1,600 bucks all day long. And I don't know if it's just because they're not really discovered yet or what it is, but right now the price point is good on them, so I picked it up. And one thing I really like too, and it's just me being an old fogey, if you look, there's nothing on this slide. There's no writing, there's no nothing, there's no read your owner's manual before you fire, none of that stuff. And then over here, all you have is Venice, Florida, and Fusion Firearms, the model, CCO, really small, and then your serial number here. Super minimalistic, and I like that in a 1911. I don't like all the big warnings and labels and stuff all over my gun. I like it super slick looking, and that brings it to you. Now, when you get the gun, like I said, you'll get the one mag, you'll get this bushing wrench, and then you get an extra recoil spring. I don't know, I haven't read the manual to know if this is maybe a lighter spring, heavier spring. I don't know, I just know that's a recoil spring and it's in the box. And you get the one mag, like I said, which is kind of unfortunate. Let me move these cardboards here. But you get this really cool bag too. And you've got slots inside for magazines. This is where the pistol grip goes, and then your barrels go in here, depending on your length. Mine's kind of short, so it don't even reach that. Little pouch here. And then on the back side, you've got more pouches. So, I mean, you get a pretty cool range bag with this thing, which is handier than just a cardboard box. So I thought that was a pretty neat feature that comes with it. I really like that. So it has all the signs and singings of a semi-custom, what you would call semi-custom gun, but they do custom stuff too. That's kind of where Fusion started, was they done custom guns. It was by order only. And they would build whatever you wanted, and they had parts kits, like a build kit that you could go buy a 1911 build kit, they'd ship you the parts, and then you had to fit everything yourself. And that's kind of where they started, and then they came out with this line, which is it's a Freedom line, which is essentially their production guns. And this is one of them. So, like I said, I have all great things to say about this thing. I haven't had any issues other than the mag. It shoots accurate. It's a steel frame, it's not an alloy frame. In this size, if it was available, I would have probably went with an alloy frame, but it doesn't have a ramped barrel. So if I was gonna go alloy frame, I would have wanted a ramped barrel, but it being steel, I'm fine with a non-ramped barrel. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set up a target here, and I'm just gonna shoot kind of semi-supported here and see what kind of groups we can get just at 12-15 yards, see what we can do with it just off of the bench. I'm shooting factory Winchester white box, 230 grain ammo. So we'll see how it does with that stuff and see what we can do. All right, guys, so I've got my target set up. I've got 5 rounds loaded here. I'm just gonna shoot off this little tiny wobbly wrist. So this isn't the best the gun can do. It's gonna be a lot of me in it too, but let's just see what it can do. That was me. I pulled that one hard. So a wobbly little rest. That shot was definitely me pulling. I jerked the trigger like an idiot, but that's not bad. That's about 15 yards or so. And wobbly rest, not really taking my time, putting shots in there. I'm happy with that. That's pretty good. What are we doing if we're not shooting at the gong though? Let's load it up and try. All right, here we go. I'm jerking. Well, when I don't flinch, I can hit the target. Excuses, I know, but I have been shooting this thing quite extensively today. Getting a little bit of a whooping on my hand, so I was flinching pretty hard on those shots towards the gong. I know, excuses, but the gun will do it, definitely. It will do it, no problems. It does shoot a little bit high with these sights, and it seems to be pretty consistent. I've shot some 200 grain lead round nose, 230 grain. I don't think I've shot any 185 grain, but it seems pretty consistently shooting high, like a 12 o'clock hold, which I kind of like that. I prefer 12 o'clock over a 6 o'clock hold for sure. Another thing I didn't mention on the takedown or the slide stop, that is recessed back into the frame. So I like that feature as well. And when I first got the gun, I didn't clean it, oil it, nothing. I just took it straight out of the box and started shooting it. Didn't have any issues, like I said, with the factory oil, but the factory oil it looked like crap, literally. It looked like after the first mag or two, the barrel and chamber was all covered in what looked like rust. I was like, wow, but it was just the factory oil that comes on them. So after, I don't know, 8 or 10 mags, I took the gun in, took it apart, cleaned it up, got all the factory oil off, or most of it, the best that I could, and put some Slip 2000 on it, and then been running it ever since. Haven't had any issues. But yeah, guys, this little firearm, for the money especially, is super hard to beat. I could deal with a little bit more of a beveled mag well. It's got a little bit of one, but not a whole lot. There's definitely a little bit of room there to where they could have beveled that a little bit more. But that's really about the only thing that I can complain about. I know taking it apart and putting it back together, some 1911s are really stubborn when you're trying to get that that pin back in for your slide stop, and you end up with the idiot mark that scratches the frame because it's just the way that they fit. This example of one went back together really easy without having to risk an idiot mark. It all just snapped back together really easily, and that's all just a product of being good quality and good fitted materials to make this handgun. So yeah, that's what I got for you today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, guys, and until next time, stay tuned.